would say the most difficult has been bringing to the surface things that I've kept hidden, But also, I would have to say that's the most enjoying, because after I peel back the layers of problems or hurts or angers that I've dealt with for over 40 years, then you can actually deal with what's going on in your life and why you've kept those hurts. Part of keeping hurts and anger is I think for me I thought it was protecting me, but what I'm finding is it's holding me back from being the real person that I'm meant to be. And I think that all these years I thought that that was a way of surviving, and what I've been doing is just not even living, but just being here, just existing. And who wants to just exist? I want to live, and I'm finding that I'm starting to live. I mean, at 47 years, I'm just now starting to live, and I'm very appreciative of that. Wow, I can compare it to. Wow, that's a really good question. I think that the only thing else that I can compare it to is my very best relationships in life, like with my relationship with my grandmother, my relationship with my parents, meaning the people that are the closest to me, that bring out the best in me, and also want the best for me unconditionally. That's what this is. It's unconditionally wanting the best for me, and me, and helping me want the best for me, and I think the biggest thing that I figured out, and this is a journey, not a destination, meaning I'm always going to be learning different things, but the biggest thing is that I have always done so much for everyone else, and now it's time to learn what's best for me and do what's best for me. And this is helping me figure out what that is, and making me want to do that, as opposed to thinking that I'm not good enough to do that for.
The most difficult things with life coaching or coming or recognizing and seeing what really are the root core triggers or events or situations that seem to cause a disruption or cause me not to be in that place and in that mindset that I really prefer to be in this world. So finding those sometimes and embracing them and recognizing them is sometimes not the easiest thing to do, because it requires some self-perspective and some devotion into how I react to things. Some of the things that have been positive are when I see the changes occurring, when I see the way I react and deal with things, or how I engage with different folk, with people at various levels, and see where I am making a difference for myself and maybe even for others. That's the good. That's the real fun thing and the enjoyable part of the coaching pieces. I don't know that this is going to be a good one to say, perhaps, but I would almost consider it like almost having a second chance, being given to you. You hear of some folks that maybe have had a close call, that maybe they've turned to a new person because of this close call experience or whatever. I kind of almost look at this as being another avenue to, without having had that close call, to being able to change or to recognize and be what I want to be without having to have a significant event occur that maybe would have driven me to the same.
My most difficult part was willing to share. For I'm a type of person that I didn't care about myself, but I care so much about others. Now, please don't think that I've come over that 100%, because I'm still like that somewhat, but nowhere near as much. Once I felt comfortable and I was able to talk about things or even bring out things that were hidden inside of me, for a lot of times we all have something that's hidden inside of us. It's hidden, and the word hidden is because you've really forgotten about it. But during the different sessions, I was able to remember. But most importantly, I was able to feel trust in my coach, because I also know that if you don't trust a person, you will hold back. But I've learned through life coaching, I learned to be free. I learned to express myself, whether it was right or wrong. I learned to agree. I learned to disagree, to agree, and that I didn't have to feel like I would be put down because of what I said, did, or even felt. That I could laugh, and that I could cry. That's what I really enjoyed the most, that I could laugh, that I could cry, that I could feel free, that I could be me, that I could say what I wanted to say, and not have any drawbacks. And it really did, it lifted me. The thing that I enjoyed, that was what I enjoyed most, that I could laugh and I could cry and I could feel free, and also that I didn't feel like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, or, oh, okay, now what are they going to think of me? Or what is he, not they, because mine was individualized, so not to think of, like, what was my life coach going to think of me.
The most difficult part has been digging into places that I'd rather not dig into, answering questions that I'd rather not answer because I wanted to, if at all possible, try to forget things or put them somewhere in my memory. But things that I need to deal with, so they have to come out. It stirs up a lot of emotions, and that's not always easy to deal with. Surprisingly, even though the sessions have been difficult and I've had to experience some negative emotions, things that I'd rather not deal with afterwards, there has been a feeling of sometimes weight being lifted off of you. Things that I would never discuss with someone that have come out, even though it was one of the most difficult things for me to discuss. Afterwards, it didn't feel like such a burden anymore. Talking to my very best friend, who doesn't pull any punches with me, tells me how they see it because they know me so well, and not letting me hide from things when they know the truth, whether I want to admit it or not.
So for me, it's once you get your vision statement and you see the things you want to change and you know the things that you should be changing. So as you're in the middle of those sessions, making sure that you're doing the right thing. So for me, there's a lot of times, or there has been times, that I would play with words, such as, oh, well, it's not really, or it's not as bad, or, trying to minimize the impact of things. So what was the challenge was not to continue to do that, but at the same time, as it is a challenge, it is a positive, one of those growth opportunities, because I would catch myself. So to me, it's a lot intertwined in that one. It's who talks to you more than you, but also at the same time recognizing it, calling it on the carpet, but at the same time you have to Recognize it as a change. Don't let it be a negative. And that's also at the same time that you catch yourself, pat yourself on the back for making that change. So that one's huge, and there is so much in there that there are times in my session where you call me out to that, or where that's called to my attention and says, hey, wait a minute, don't let the little nuances pass you by. You know, one, who talks to you more than you, so as you're telling yourself these things, you don't have to beat yourself up on them because you didn't get here overnight, one. So it's not going to be fixed overnight, but also continue to recognize your successes and applaud yourself for them. So to me, there is a lot in there, and I definitely don't want that to be lost in this session because that is huge for me. You know, it's like, okay, well, you know what you need to do, then just do it. And versus, you know, when you do it, you got to also say, you know what, you stopped, you caught yourself, you didn't just do it, and you caught yourself, and it's positive, and now acknowledge that and pat yourself on the back. That it's continuous. It's not done. You don't feel, or I don't feel abandoned. I don't feel like, that, you know, the session is, you know, the session or the sessions are done, so now go ahead and fend for yourself out in the world, that you're there for me, for us, for your clients. I believe you're there for your clients. So I'm going to say, you know, you're there for me, so I'm going to say you're there for us. And that no issue is too small or too big. Quite honestly, I don't know that there is any. Life coaching is not counseling. Life coaching is a two-way session. Coaching is two ways. I can't say that there's anything that I can compare life coaching to. It is different and unique in and of itself. It's putting things in your face that you say. You know, it's not somebody else's perception. It's what you've said, what you perceive, and then the things you want to change as the client. So I can't equate life coaching to anything else. I don't have another life experience that I think falls in the same realm as life coaching.